Your attention, please. The track is open for qualification. And ready to go. The Spirit of San Antonio Special, entered by the Zuni Group Incorporated. Turbocharged Ford Cosworth provides the power for this Lola chassis. Lovely and talented Lynn St. James. And the green flag flies, and the run is on.
Lynn St. James moves to turn number 1, her pattern, just above the white line. Remember, no rumble strips this year. About 6 feet away from the South Street wall. 2 feet above the line through 2. High off of 2, and still stays fairly high in the racetrack, moving down the backstretch. Lynn St. James halfway around, and more than that, setting up for 3. Just guides it down to 3. Right on the white line, off of 3 through the north chute, about 5 feet away from the wall. 2/4 is down to the line, and already Lynn is off of 4 on the main straightaway. The green still out for Lynn St. James.
All set for the time and speed first time around, and it's a good one. Over 225 miles an hour. The time 39.979, and the speed 225.110 miles an hour. The ride's moving well.
Moving into 3, Lynn St. James. Same pattern just down to the line through the north chute. Rapidly traveling through 4 now, just down to the line. Pretty steady, consistent pattern. Lynn St. James halfway through this qualification attempt.
Down just a bit, but you'll still like it. Time 40 and 55 hundredths of a second. 224.691 miles an hour.
Halfway down the backstretch on this lap is Lynn St. James. Now sets up for the third turn in 3. Just above the line. Pretty consistent, as we said before, all the way around the racetrack. Lynn St. James just above the line 4. Quickly off of 4. Lynn St. James looking at the white flag from Dwayne Swigert.
And our first qualifier checks in lap number 3. Just a tick faster. 40 and 39 thousandths of a second, reading left to right 40.039, and the speed 224.781 miles an hour. Let's bring her to the checkered flag. John Tucker.
Won't be long now, Tom. She's just down to the line in 3 this time. Now negotiates the North Shore Chute. Down to the line in 4, and here she is. Lynn St. James off of 4, down the main straightaway, and she's our first qualifier.
Here for Lynn St. James, the story of the run. Total time, 2 minutes, 40 and 289 thousandths of a second. And the speed average, 224.594 miles an hour. Very fine ride, a solid ride. Hi, somebody was here now. And the green flag flies, and he's on it.
And you're about 4 or 5 feet above the white line. And 1, about 4 feet from the wall in the street. Maybe 3 feet above the line in 2. The high line around the racetrack stays fairly high in the backstretch. This Buddy Lazier. Heading now for turn number 3. 3, couple of feet above the white line. Through the north chute, same pattern as the south end. Couple of feet above the line in 4, and he's off of 4 on the main straightaway. Here comes Buddy Lazier, 1 lap complete in this attempt.
And it's a hot one. 38 and 878 thousandths of a second. Over 231 miles an hour. 231.493 miles an hour. Certainly he's going to be going up front on race day.
Well above the line as he negotiates turn number 3. Buddy Lazier, 3-4 feet from the wall on South Street. 3 feet above the line in turn 4. High exit off of 4 and stays in the middle of the racetrack. And here comes Buddy Lazier halfway through this attempt.
And lap number 2, it's even quicker. 38 and 864 thousandths of a second. Speed average lap 2, 231.577 miles an hour.
Buddy Lazier sets up for 3. Number 3 still well above the line by at least 3 feet. 4 feet away from the north street wall. Buddy Lazier well above the line in 4. On the main straightaway, looking at the white flag is Buddy Lazier.
And a consistent performance. Third lap speed, 231.434 miles an hour, 38.888 on the time. One lap to go.
Well, not even that. Just a little over half a lap to go as Buddy is in turn 3. Still the same pattern. Through the north seat, now through 4, still well above the white line. Stays fairly high in the racetrack as he comes down, and we have our second qualifier, Buddy Lazier.
Lap number 4, 38, 899 thousandths of a second, and the speed average 231.368 miles an hour. Well, Davy Jones out of Lake Tahoe, Nevada, is ready for his 5th race and has perhaps his best equipment of any previous appearance. Eyes on him, and here he comes, and he's on it.
Indeed he is, Tom. Davy Jones once again, just over the line barely in turn 1. Couple of feet away from the south street wall. Davy Jones well over the line with the left side rubber 2. Stays moderately high in the racetrack as he moves toward 3. Davy Jones with nearly Mercedes power in this year's race. In 3, just down on the line, off of 3 through the north chute. A couple feet away from the wall up there, just down the line in 4. Davy Jones off of 4 on the main straightaway. Here comes Davy. 1 lap complete in this attempt.
And he's got it. It's a new track record. Davy Jones, 232.943 miles an hour. 38.636 on the time. Well, let's watch him.
He's moving quickly, Tom. He's through the north chute all. He is through 4 and on the main straightaway, using in the traditional sense all of the racetrack. Halfway through this attempt, Davy Jones.
And another 232 mile an hour lap. 232.799 miles an hour. 38.660 miles an hour. What a ride. A record-breaking ride by Davy Jones so far.
So far, he's had pretty consistent patterns in all the corners. Just nudging the white line, maybe moving over 1 or 2. But here he is off of 4. And Davy Jones, well, he's got 1 lap left. Let's put it that way.
Now here it is. And it's almost up to lap number 2. 232.721 miles an hour. The time 38.673. Now fans, if he keeps it up, he can break the 4-lap record. His average now 232.8. Let's bring him home. Davy Jones.
Not going to take too much. He's through the north chute, just on the line in 4, off of 4, on the main straightaway. Here comes Davy Jones as our 5th qualifier.
Now for the time and speed report. And it's another new track record. Lap number 4 is over 233 miles an hour. 233.064 miles an hour. So he's set 2 one-lap records in that run. And Hoosier-Land's own Tony Stewart will be next out. Tony Stewart. That's a brilliant young driver. All sorts of future open to this young man. Tony Stewart. Eyes on him now. Pounding to the yard of bricks. And he's on it.
And indeed, Tony Stewart is. His first qualifying attempt here, a couple of feet above the line in turn 1. 3 feet away from the South Street wall. Just down to the line in 2, and here's Tony off of 2 on the backstretch. Stays fairly high on the backstretch. Now at turn number 3 in this attempt. Down into 3, just down to the line, comes off of 3 through the north chute, a couple of feet away from the wall. Over the line with the left side wheels at 4. Here's Tony Stewart. Off of 4 on the main straightaway. 1 lap complete in his first attempt ever.
And here's the first time around. Over 233 miles an hour. 233.040 miles an hour. The time 38.620. And Davy Jones's mark still holds.
He's on the main straightaway now, is Tony Stewart. Halfway through this attempt.
And it's a new track record. 38.597 on the time, 233.179 miles an hour. Tony Stewart, the new track record holder, 1 lap.
He's hustling the car through 3. The left side rover over the line in 3. He's making some adjustments in everything over the line in 4. On the main straightaway, Tony Stewart. 1 lap remains in this attempt.
And the second lap record still holds. 38.614 on the time. Speed 233.076 miles an hour. And let's bring him to the checkered flag.
Halfway around on this 4th lap. Tony Stewart sets up now for turn number 3. Both left side wheels below the line. 4. Here he is, off of 4. Tony Stewart becomes our 8th qualifier.
And it's a new 4-lap track record. And the 4-lap speed average, 233.100 miles an hour. The 4th lap, 233.106. And the total time, a record time, 2 minutes, 440 thousandths of a second. And the new track record for 10 miles, 233.100 miles an hour. Here's your record holder, Tony Stewart. Remember this number 14? That belongs to A.J. Foyt and his team. The number he ran with for years. Now his driver is young Davey Hamilton on the course. Eyes on him. Will he take it? Yes. And he's done it.
And once again, Davey Hamilton on a qualifying attempt in Indianapolis. Just maybe a foot above the line. Turn 1 through the South Street. Just down to the line in 2. Off of 2, maybe 15 feet away from the backstretch wall, heading into that territory. Sets up now for turn 3. Davey Hamilton in 3. Just over the line with the left side rubber, through the north chute, a couple of feet from the wall. Just down to the line in 4, off of 4. Here's Davey on the main straightaway. 1 lap complete in this qualification attempt.
Davey Hamilton, 39.319 on the time. Very fine, 228.897 miles an hour.
Heading down the backstretch, now turning into turn 3, Davey Hamilton. Just on the white line with the left side rubber, through the north chute, 3 feet from the wall. Down to the line, just above it in turn 4. Quickly he gets around the racetrack, and he's halfway through this qualification attempt. Davey Hamilton.
Here it is, 228.804 miles an hour. Davey Hamilton, 39.335.
Halfway down the backstretch, Davey Hamilton on lap number 3. Here he comes to turn number 3. Just barely over the white line with the left side rubber. Through the north chute, down on the line in turn 4. Davey Hamilton comes off of 4, down the main straightaway. The white flag, 1 lap left.
1 lap to go as we give you the time and speed report. It's his quickest lap, 228.984 miles an hour, 39.304 on the time for the likable, talented Davey Hamilton.
And he's setting up now for turn number 3. He's on the line with the left side rubber. Through the north chute, 3 feet away from the wall. Just above the line in 4, and he's off of 4. And here comes Davey Hamilton.
As Davey Hamilton is qualified at a speed average of 228.887 miles an hour, the time for the run. He's on row number 2 outside, the 6th fastest time so far for Davey Hamilton, 2 minutes 37 and 283 thousandths of a second. And the question arises, another track record holder coming up. It's Eddie Cheever, fans. He's out there. And he's on it.
And here's Eddie Cheever on this first lap. About a foot above the white line in 1. About 18 inches from the south street wall. Just above the line in 2. Eddie Cheever knows his way around this place. Comes off of 2, stays within 15 feet of the outside wall as he heads toward turn number 3. Close to the wall now, sets up for 3. Eddie Cheever in 3. About a foot above the white line. Within 18 inches of the north chute wall. Above the line at 4. Eddie Cheever off of 4 on the main straightaway already. Here's Eddie with 1 lap complete.
And it's over 230 miles an hour, 230.580 miles an hour, 39 and 32 thousandths of a second. 39.032 on the time. Over 230 and a half miles an hour.
By the time he finished, Tom, he was through turn number 3. Eddie Cheever through the north chute in 4, just above the line once again, and off of 4 already. Here's Eddie Cheever on the main straightaway, halfway through a qualification attempt.
Here it is, it's faster. 231.809 miles an hour, 38.825 on the time. 231, almost 232.
Heading now for turn number 3 on this lap. Turn 3 on lap 3, just above the line for Eddie. Fairly close to the outside wall, through the line in 4. Eddie Cheever on the main straightaway on lap number 4. 1 lap left in this event.
He's on another hot lap, over 232 miles an hour. 232.210, 38.758. Let's bring Eddie to the second flag.
Hustling around on 4th lap already. Here he is going into turn number 3. Just above the line in 3 through the north short chute. In 4. Patting comes down to the line. Pretty consistent there on all 4 laps. But here he is already on the main straightaway Eddie Cheever, our 12th qualifier.
And it's 232.534 miles an hour, his quickest lap. Eddie Cheever for the run, 231.781 miles an hour, 2 minutes 35 and 319 thousandths of a second. And Eddie Cheever right now is on the outside of road number 1. And now the former track record holder, Roberto Guerrero out of San Juan Capistrano, California, is on the course. He has held the track record. And he's on it.
Roberto Guerrero. Turn 1, lap 1, maybe a foot above the white line. 4 feet from the wall on the south street. About a foot above the line in turn 2 for Roberto. Down the middle of the racetrack, coming down the backstretch. Close to the wall now as he heads for turn 3. Rather classic pattern. Just down the line in turn 3. Roberto Guerrero. 4. Just above the line, so already he's off of 4. And here he comes down the main straightaway. 1 lap complete in this attempt for Guerrero.
Well, let's see how the former track record holder is doing. It's a healthy lap. 230.044 Guerrero, 39 and 123 thousandths of a second. Guerrero, lap number 1.
Halfway around on lap number 2 is Guerrero. Sets up to turn number 3. Just down barely on the line with the left side rubber in 3 through the north chute. Down to the line just above it in 4. Pretty quickly around this racetrack as here he is on the main straightaway. 2 laps complete.
And oh, what a jump. 2 miles an hour up. 232.096. Lap number 2. Time 38.771. Pick it up some more, Roberto.
He's given it a try. Hustled down the backstretch in 3 already. Just above the line in 3 on this lap. Through the north short chute. Just above the line in 4. And here is Roberto Guerrero on the main straightaway. The white flag is out. He has 1 lap left in this attempt.
Another hot one. 231.660 miles an hour. 38.850 on the time. Let's bring him to the checkered flag. Roberto Guerrero.
Won't be long, Tom. He's already past the halfway mark on this lap. Now he's in turn number 3. Once again, just above the white line, 3 feet from the outside wall through the north street. Just down to the line in 4, and here he is, off of 4. And we have Roberto Guerrero qualifying for this year's race.
And another good one. 231.702 miles an hour. 38.843 on the time. Guerrero's run, 231.373 miles an hour. That's good enough to put him in the middle of road number 2. His total time for the run, 2 minutes 35 and 593 thousandths of a second. Roberto Guerrero. Eliseo Salazar is on the course for the nation of Chile. Here he comes pounding toward the yard of bricks, and he's on it.
Salazar in turn 1, just to the white line, barely. 6 feet away from the south street wall. Just touches the white line in turn number 2. Comes down the middle of the racetrack as his mentor Dick Simon pattern was. Close to the outside wall now as he sets up the 3. He's just down to the line once again. Salazar through the north street, well away from the wall. There is to the line. Eliseo Salazar off of 4 on the main straightaway. 1 lap under his belt.
It's a good one. Real good one. 232 38.751 miles an hour. How do you like that, fans? Salazar, 38.668. A great ride underway.
Yes, he's already in turn 3, just on the white line with the left side wheels. Through the north chute, still well away from the wall, just down to the white line in turn 4. Off of 4 on the main straightaway. Here's Eliseo, halfway through in the 10th.
First time around, just a half a mile off the track record. What'll it be this time? 232.847 miles an hour. He's almost up there. 38.652 for Eliseo Salazar, making a qualification challenge in the speed department.
Yes, indeed, Tom. Well, he's over the white line a bit with the left side rubber in 3. 3 different lines through 3 on 3 different lines. Already through the north chute, though. And here's Eliseo Salazar, 1 lap remaining.
Will he do it this time? Down just a little bit. 232.498 miles an hour. 38.710 on the time. Going for the front row. Let's bring him home.
Still following that same pattern down the middle of the backstretch. Now sets up to 3. In 3, just above the white line that time. 4 different ways of getting through turn number 3 for Salazar. Already through 4. And here he comes down the main straightaway, and we have Eliseo Salazar as our 14th qualifier.
And another 232 mile an hour lap. 232.642 miles an hour. Eliseo Salazar, a great ride. 38.686 on the time, lap number 4. Total time for the run, 2 minutes, 34 and 716 thousandths of a second. We've got a speed average, 10 miles, 232.684 miles an hour. It's good enough for the front row on the outside. Eliseo Salazar, another potential track record holder, is making a bid now. That's Scott Creighton. Here he comes, and he's on it.
Scott Brayton, once again, about 2 feet above the line in turn 1. 14 years here. South chute just above the line in turn 2. Scott is already off of 2. Fairly high on the racetrack as he goes down the backstretch. Knows his way around the place. Just above the line in 3 and off of 3 through the short chute. Above the line in 4. Here's Scott on the main straightaway. 1 lap complete in this attempt for Scott Brayton.
$231.553 miles an hour. Scott Brayton down from his practice speeds, 38.868 on the time. Brayton 231 and a half.
See what he can do now. He's more than halfway around. Back in turn 3. Now through the north chute, about 5 feet away from the north chute wall. Just down above the line in 4. Scott Brayton off the 4th turn on the main straightaway. Halfway through a qualification attempt.
And this fantastic speed show continues with another 231 mile an hour lap. 231.238 for Scott, 38.921 on the time.
Brayton halfway down the backstretch. Now sets up for turn number 3 on lap number 3. Just down to the line in 3. Still well away from the north chute wall. Barely with the left side wheels in 4. Off of 4 on the main straightaway. White flag, 1 lap left.
And another top ride, 231.559. Lap number 3, 38.867. So Scott Brayton is moving to the checkered.
Moving there fairly rapidly. Setting up now for turn number 3 already. turn 4. Gets down to the line, and here comes Scott. Off of 4 on the main straightaway. And we now have 15 cars set for this year's race.
Here it is, lap number 4. 231.791 miles an hour. Another consistent performance by a great race driver. 38.828 on the time. For the run, Scott Brayton, as he becomes our 15th qualifier. 2 minutes, 35 and 484 thousandths of a second. Speed average, Scott Brayton, 231.535 miles an hour. Puts him in the second row in the middle. Chance for Ari Lyondike and his fine team to say hello to speed. The 1990 500 winner, he holds all the race records, the majority of them certainly for the full 500 miles. Ready for his 12th race. Eyes on the starter, and he's on it.
Ari Lyondike, turn 1, lap number 1, just down to the white line there for Ari. Within 2 feet of the outside wall to the south chute, just above the line in turn 2. Lyondike already on the backstretch. Halfway around on this first lap. Ari Lyondike setting up now for turn number 3. In 3, what does matter? This lap just down barely on the line. Less than 2 feet from the wall in the north chute. Down through the line in 4, and here's Ari. Off of 4, coming down the main straightaway. 1 lap complete in this attempt.
Well, what's the timing and scoring story? Not there. 231.756 miles an hour. Time, 38 and 834 thousandths of a second. 38 and 834 thousandths of a second. 231.7 on the speed. Let's see if he moves it up.
Well, we'll see. It's not going to be a long time. He's already through 4 and back on the main straightaway. 2 laps halfway through this qualification attempt. Ari Lyondike.
Not quite there. 233.058 on the speed. Lap number 2. 38.617. Will he do it this time around?
Well, we're not far from finding out. Through 3, through the North Shore chute. On the line in 4, and here he comes, Tom. On the main straightaway, the white flag out. 1 lap remaining in this attempt.
And he did it. And listen to this, 234.742 miles an hour, 38.340. Let's see if he does it again. Here he is.
Won't be long. North chute time. Through 4, here comes Ari, looking right at Dwayne Sweeney's checkered flag as our 21st qualifier, the new record holder. Hang on.
Let's see if he's got a new 1-lap record. No. It's 234.028. Does he have a new 4-lap record? The answer, 2 minutes, 34 and 248 thousandths of a second. And yes, it is a new track record. He is on the pole. Ari Lyondike is on the pole with a 233.390 miles an hour. Ari Lyondike is the new track record holder. Well, this battle for the pole may not be over, fans. Scott Brayton yet to be heard from. Will he do it? He's going to go. Car number 32. There he goes. And going for start number 15. is Scott Brayton out of Coldwater, Michigan. Is on him. Scott Brayton, and he's on it.
Well, here goes Scott. See what he does on this qualifying attempt. About 18 inches above the white line in one, 4 feet away from the southeast wall, just above the line in turn two. Scott with a high exit off of two. Stays fairly high in the racetrack. Scott Brayton. Scott Brayton, 1 lap complete.
Let's see if the strategy pays off. Well, he didn't reach Ari, but it's just lap number 1. And it's a high one, a hot one, 233.675 miles an hour, 38.515. He needs just about another mile an hour. Scott Brayton, car number 32.
You see, he's moving quickly. He's coming through 4 right now. Here's Scott Brayton off of 4. Second time today. Second lap. Halfway through.
Now let's see if he did it. Nope, about the same. 233.536 on the speed. 38.538 on the time. John?
Halfway down the backstretch he is, Tom. Same basic patterns. Through the north chute. Been running 234s in practice here a little while ago. Don't know if he's going to do it today. 1 lap remains.
Well, I'd just like to point out that so far he's faster for the 4-lap average. Here we go. Still 233.809 miles an hour, 38.493. He could set a new 4-lap record. Let's see if he does it.
Going to be interesting, isn't it? 3-3 just above the line through the north chute. Now 4. Here he comes down the main straightaway. Scott Brayton attempting to take the pole. He has successfully qualified.
And he did it. He did it. A new 4-lap record. A new 4-lap record for Scott Brayton. And the 3rd lap, or rather the 4th lap, 233.851 miles an hour. And the new 10-mile track record, 233.718 miles an hour. Beating the record of Ari Lyondike, but Ari still holds the 1-lap record. Ari, the 1-lap record, Scott Brayton, the 4-lap record is the way it works out. And Scott Brayton will be on the pole race day. 233.718 miles an hour. That's the 4-lap average. For Scott, as they took the gamble and it paid off, here he comes. There's the gun. It's all over. I'm Tom Carnegie thanking you for being here.